There was a day when humanity lost more than it remembers today. Not slowly, not over centuries, but all at once. Thousands of years of accumulated knowledge, entire discoveries, inventions, ideas, vanished. Not because of a single fire, not because of one invading army, not because of one careless mistake, but because the world failed to protect what it had learned. A single city, a single institution, a single ambition to collect all human knowledge. And yet the consequences of its disappearance would echo for millennia. Astronomical calculations that mapped the heavens, engineering designs that harnessed water, air, and steam, medical observations that documented the human body with startling accuracy. Gone. Books that described the universe not as myth, but as measurable reality. Scrolls that held ideas we may still not fully understand. What happened? Who was responsible? And perhaps most unsettling of all, could humanity ever recover what was lost? This is the story of the Library of Alexandria, and the day humanity forgot itself. To understand the magnitude of this loss, we must travel back more than 2,000 years, to the edge of the Mediterranean, to a city unlike any the ancient world had ever seen. Alexandria, Egypt. Founded in 331 BCE by Alexander the Great, Alexandria was not simply another conquered city, it was a statement. Alexander envisioned a place where East and West would meet, not just in trade, but in thought. A city where Greek philosophy, Egyptian tradition, Persian administration, and knowledge from as far as India could coexist. This was not accidental. Alexander understood something rare among conquerors. Knowledge could outlast armies. He surrounded himself with philosophers, mathematicians, geographers, engineers, and historians. As his armies marched, scholars followed. They recorded rivers, cataloged plants, mapped cities, and translated foreign texts. But Alexander's vision would never be completed by Alexander himself. He died suddenly in 323 BCE at just 32 years old. His empire fractured almost immediately. Yet one of his generals saw opportunity where others saw chaos. Ptolemy I, ruler of Egypt, inherited Alexandria, and with it, Alexander's unfinished dream. Ptolemy understood a hard truth. Empires rise and fall, borders change, armies are temporary. But knowledge, if preserved, could endure. And so he pursued one of the most ambitious projects in human history. He would collect all the knowledge of the world, not metaphorically, literally. At the heart of Alexandria, Ptolemy established the Museion, a research institution dedicated to the Muses. Attached to it was the library. This was not a public library in the modern sense. It was something far more radical, a state-funded research center. Scholars were given salaries, free housing, free meals, and tax exemptions. Their only job was to study, debate, write, and expand human understanding. No farming, no trade, no political office, just knowledge. And Ptolemy did not want some knowledge. He wanted everything. Every ship that entered Alexandria's harbor was searched, not for weapons, not for contraband, for books, scrolls, manuscripts, maps, medical treatises, philosophical works. Anything written was seized. Texts were copied by professional scribes. The copies were returned. The originals were kept, stored, cataloged. No apologies, no negotiations. The message was clear. All knowledge belongs here now. The library actively sought texts from across the known world. Greece, Babylon, Persia, India, and Egypt itself. Works were translated into Greek, the scholarly language of the age. By some estimates, the The library housed between 40,000 and 400,000 scrolls. Even the lower estimate made it the largest repository of knowledge the world had ever seen. But the library was not just a warehouse. It was alive. Scholars from different cultures worked side by side. They argued. They corrected one another. Mistakes were challenged, not preserved. Ideas were tested against observation. This was revolutionary. Eratosthenes, the library's chief librarian, calculated the circumference of the Earth using only shadows, geometry, and distance measurements. His result was astonishingly close to modern measurements, over 2,000 years ago. Hero of Alexandria experimented with mechanics and steam power, designing automatic doors and primitive engines, technology centuries ahead of its time. Medical scholars dissected human bodies with precision unmatched for hundreds of years. Astronomers mapped the stars, tracked planetary motion, and debated whether the Earth moved around the sun. These were not myths, they were observations, and they were written down. Many discoveries credited to later eras were already known in Alexandria. Ideas about geometry, optics, mechanics, and medicine were centuries ahead of their time. This knowledge could have accelerated civilization. It could have changed everything. But the library was fragile. History does not protect fragile things. Most imagine its destruction as a single dramatic fire, scrolls turning to ash, knowledge erased overnight. But the truth is subtler. It died slowly, painfully, quietly. In 48 BCE, Caesar arrived. Fires damaged nearby buildings, possibly including the library. But the institution survived, referenced for centuries afterward. Over time, political turmoil, economic strain, and neglect caused the library to fade. Religious and ideological shifts made older works irrelevant or dangerous. Scrolls decayed. Shelf by shelf, humanity's memory faded. We do not know what was lost. Many works survive only as references. Entire disciplines vanished. Knowledge had to be rediscovered. Humanity did not move backward because it stopped thinking. It moved backward because it forgot. The Dark Ages were not an absence of intelligence, but an absence of memory. Today, we believe knowledge is safe, digitized, backed up, stored across continents. But Alexandria believed the same thing. Permanent, untouchable, wrong. The Library of Alexandria is a warning. Knowledge does not preserve itself. It must be protected, copied, valued, passed on. Its loss reminds us how fragile progress really is. Every rediscovered manuscript is proof of what was nearly lost. Every idea recovered is a glimpse of humanity's potential. The story of Alexandria is not ancient history. It is a mirror, a reminder. Civilization is not guaranteed. Memory can fade, progress can reverse. But knowledge, once discovered, has a way of resurfacing. Human curiosity cannot be extinguished. It can be delayed, forgotten, buried, but never erased. Every archive today is part of a chain across time. Break it, and history repeats. Lose it, and humanity forgets itself again. The echoes of the library still resonate in every recovered text, every rediscovered idea, every question we dare to ask. Somewhere in the ruins of Alexandria lies a lesson written not in words, but in silence. We must preserve. We must question. We must remember. Because the past still has secrets left to tell. And the future depends on our ability to remember them. If stories like this matter to you, stories grounded in history, scholarship, and humanity's greatest achievements and failures, then subscribe. The world still has secrets waiting to be remembered. Forgetting them comes at a cost.